theme for the message this morning, titled "The Goal of Christianity is Maturity in Christ." The goal of the Christian life is to mature in Christ. Colossians chapter 1 verse 28, I'll focus on this verse, says, He, referring to Christ, He is the one we proclaim, admonishing and teaching everyone with all wisdom, so that we may present everyone fully mature in Christ. In Christ. The goal of being a human person is to grow and mature in Christ. To grow and mature in Christ is not a religious activity, but a profoundly human one. That is, being a Christian is not about being religious, but about coming to understand what it means to be a true and authentic Christian. We come to church each Sunday not to set ourselves apart from the rest of the world as a private and an exclusive religious sect or a religious community, but we come to be a light to the world about what it means to be human beings created in the image of God. Praying, singing, praising and worshiping God, etc., the things that we do each Sunday and the things that we should be doing daily are not activities or things that we do to become super spiritual beings, people who are better than the rest of the world. No, we do these things because we are human beings, created in the image of God. To put it the other way around, we do these things precisely because we are not God. The equation of what it means to be a human being and what are we left with in life? We are left with nothing but the self or the ego. Without God in our lives, or without Christ as the perfect example of what it means to be a human being, then we become nothing but egotistic and self-centered creatures. We often say that a person with a big ego is someone who is full of themselves. And when you are full of yourself, then there is no room for anyone else. An egotistic person is a person who has an exaggerated sense of self-importance. That is, they think that they are more important than anyone else. Are you egotistical? How will you know? Corina Wolf talks about 11 signs you're probably egotistical even if you don't think so. I'll go through these 11 signs. Number 1, you're probably egotistical if you value material objects above all else. We all love a good shopping spree here and there, but if you place most value in material objects, that might be your ego talking. The ego identifies with having more, better, and the latest. We can end up identifying who we are by what we have. That is the ego. I am the same person if I drive a 1994 Toyota Corolla or a 2019 Aston Martin. But do I feel the same compared to others while driving them? Secondly, the second sign, which you are probably egotistical. you experience a lot of resentment. Complaining strengthens the ego. If you find yourself engaged in gossip, criticism, or condemnation of others on a regular basis, that is likely the ego feeding itself. Number 3, you tend to interrupt others. You don't let people finish their thoughts or their sentences because what you have to say matters more. The 4th sign says this person. You hold a position of power. Not all people with powerful positions are egotistical, but those with large egos crave attention and high-ranking jobs. They typically have power positions because their egos will starve to death in behind-the-scenes positions of any sort. 5thly, you speak loudly. Loud speech is a tool you might use to get people to pay attention to you. You might tend to speak loud and move fast in order to divert attention from the truth. As many times what you are saying or doing has no substance, but you are addicted to the appearance of your importance. The 6th sign, which you're probably egotistical according to this person, you hate losing. Of course, no one enjoys losing, but if you are egotistical, you might cheat and lie to win, to save face. If you lose, that validates your deepest, darkest fear that you are inferior. Number 7, you leave a social gathering without gaining much from others. At parties, you always want the focus to be on you. You might leave a social gathering or work meeting and realize that you don't remember what anybody else said, nor do you have strong feelings about what they said, unless, of course, it was a negative response to your ideas and how much time you took to discuss them. Number 6, you always take the credit for success. Egotistical people often try to take credit for the successes of others and avoid blame for their own mistakes. Number 9, you are extremely opinionated. Egotistical people do not consider the points of view of others and are often very opinionated. Because they are self-absorbed, egotistical people are focused solely on their point of view, image, and preferences. Number 10, you don't feel grateful. If you take others for granted and do not express gratitude, you might be egotistical. Egotistical people often feel they are better than other people, and therefore they do not feel it necessary to thank others for their help. It is a sense of entitlement. And finally, number 11, you spend time around others just like you. Your ego always needs a boost. So spending time around others who support your image feels rewarding. Egotistical people usually gravitate towards others who are similar to them, because similar people will reinforce their positive beliefs about themselves. Do these characteristics or these signs sound like anybody you know? Before we start pointing the finger at others, it's important to remember that when we point one finger at someone, there are always 4 fingers pointing back at us. Sin is separation from God. The belief that you can still be a full human being without God in your life. That is sin. Thinking that your humanity can still be left intact without God, who created us and who gives us our meaning and our purpose in life. Life without God is at the heart of egotism, at the heart of narcissism, which leads to death. Egotism, narcissism is all our problem. It is at the heart of the human depravity, the human sinful nature. Hence why God comes to us in and through Jesus Christ to institute a new human being or a new humanity. Jesus is the perfect human being. He is not driven by ego. He is not self-centered. He is not concerned with doing his own will, nor does he seek his own glory. No, Jesus is concerned only with doing the will of his Father. Even at the point of death, Jesus freely chooses to let his own life go. Jesus freely chooses to sacrifice his own life so that his Father's will for the world might be done. And so Jesus, in freely giving up his own life, reveals to us what is required for our humanity and our freedom to be restored and be renewed. That is, in order to find our new life or our new humanity in Christ, we must die to self. We must die to our egos, all of us. And that, as we know, is very hard for us as self-centered, egotistic, sinful human beings. Let me use the story of how to catch a monkey to illustrate this point. As you're probably all wondering, how do you catch a monkey? Farmers and hunters in third world countries have been capturing monkeys for centuries, as I read. If you want to catch a monkey, you have to trap it, and this is how. A farmer or a hunter will cut a small hole into a termite mound, if they're in Africa, in Australia is a bottle. The small hole they cut will be just big enough for the monkey to fit their hand through. Inside the ground or inside the jar, they put nuts or sweets or something that the monkey loves. Then they wait. Sooner or later, a monkey will come by and smell the nuts that they want. Then they put their hand through the hole, grab a fistful of nuts, and then they'll try to pull their hand back out, but they can't. The hole is small enough to put their empty hand through, but not big enough for a hand clutching a fistful of nuts. And so they're stuck. Now at this point, the monkey should realize, hey, I'm stuck, drop the nuts. But they don't. They want the nuts. They don't want to surrender the nuts. And so they pull and pull and pull, refusing to drop the nuts. So the hunter or the farmer comes behind them, catches them, or snatches them away. If they just surrendered what they were holding on to, they could be free. But they don't. This is what sin does to our ego. That is, this is what living a life apart from God does. It makes us cling to the things of this world, thinking that that is where life is to be found. And so in clinging to the things of this world, we actually lose our freedom. We lose our true humanity. We lose our true selves. The miracle of Christmas and the miracle of Easter, both those things cannot be separated. Christmas and Easter. The miracle of Christmas and the miracle of Easter is that God comes to us in Jesus Christ to die on the cross, to cut the stronghold of sin and death that has a grip on our lives. so that whoever believes in him will be set free. Free from the bondage of sin, free from the bondage of death itself. So Paul is writing to the church in Colossians, telling them, not about monkeys as such, but he's writing to the church in Colossians, telling them to let go of some of their Jewish traditions and cling to Christ alone. That is, Paul is trying to tell them that salvation is found in Christ as they cling to him, not to their religious traditions. Paul commands and instructs them to walk in Christ. Everything they do must be in Christ and for Christ. And it is living in this way that will enable them and us to grow and to mature fully in Christ. What is the goal of Christianity? To present everyone fully mature in Christ. What is the goal of being a human being? The same. To present everyone fully mature in Christ. Colossians 1:28, he is the one we proclaim. Jesus is the one we proclaim, admonishing and teaching everyone with all wisdom, so that we may present everyone fully mature in Christ. As we continue to worship him, as we continue to read and study his word, as we continue to serve others in our community, may the Holy Spirit help us to continue to grow and to mature in Christ. Amen.